Hello, everybody. My name is Robin, and I'm a certified Warriors at Ease yoga and meditation instructor. And I'm here today to offer you a 30-minute restorative yoga class here on Warriors at Ease, Operation Remote Resilience. I forgot to say that. Welcome. And so today I'd like to offer you this restorative practice, which is designed to unwind tension and anxiety in the body through the use of a deeper connection with your breath and props. So I'm going to invite you to grab things around your house today to set you up for your restorative practice. But if restorative is something that you really want to bring into your practice, it's worth investing in a few things to just have them handy and to really be able to sink into your poses, because you kind of know you can just trust that you have your props that work for you. So today what I'm going to be using is a few blankets. I have 2 blankets here that are kind of double folded now. I have one here on the mat. You can use blankets from home as well. By the way, they don't have to be the typical yoga blankets. But again, something you might want to invest in if you really like and believe that restorative can work well for you. Also, if you have a bolster is really nice to have. And I have a couple blocks. And I also grabbed a couple of my throw pillows, which I use these all the time. So we will today. Those kinds of things. You could use couch cushions, long couch cushions, bed pillows, especially king size bed pillows are really nice to be able to put underneath your torso and have a little bit of length. So anything like that you can grab to just bring a little more comfort into the body and ease in the mind. That's what restorative is all about. It's restful yoga for stressful times. So today we're going to begin on the earth and in a prone position on your belly. And what I'm going to do is bring one blanket that's double folded down here on the floor out just to the side of my mat for my leg. And so I'm going to roll down onto my belly. Going to have this blanket just kind of right under my torso and my arms, so I can just kind of rest here. And then I'm going to bring this blanket right under my bent knee. And it's just going to support and open my hip. All right, so come on down. Join me here. This feels really yummy. I like to call this the kindergarten pose because it reminds me of the day that we used to take naps in kindergarten. Most of us laid on our bellies. And there's something really calming and really nurturing about that. Kindergarten teachers had the right idea. So you kind of want to just find what's comfortable for you to just relax your chest and your belly onto the floor. This is a natural cue to our brain to come into the rest and digest function of our central nervous system. So find a way to just support your head, and then you'll notice that the blanket feels really nice. Again, this could be a small pillow underneath your thigh, and it just kind of lifts and opens the hip here. So come into it, settle in, soften your eyes. I'm supporting my head on my hand. My hands stacked. But whatever feels good for you. And just breathe here. Begin to draw your attention to your breath. Notice how it feels to breathe in this position as your belly is connected to the earth, and you will really feel the breath begin to expand across your back. Maybe imagine breathing all the way down to your toes. And let the breath come softly out on the exhale. So let's begin our practice today with what we call kind of centering breath. And we're just going to breathe in to maybe a count of 4. And then exhale to a count of 4. I'll count to just kind of get us started. So let's breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale the same. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do a couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, as you begin to follow your own natural rhythm, I invite you to explore extending your exhale just a little bit longer than your inhale. This again is a cue for the body to begin to relax and soften. So take a few more breaths, just noticing if you can get that exhale to trickle out a little bit longer than the inhale. Try keeping your mouth closed and just breathing in and out through the nose. So as you're breathing here, beginning to release a little bit, allow the body to settle down a little bit deeper. Begin to notice where you do feel shifts in your body. And maybe it's just the stilling of the mind. Beginning to feel a little more grounded, perhaps a little heavier as you sink into the pose. So allow yourself 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to begin to shift into a different pose. Okay, when you are ready, I invite you to just lift your head, bring your hands, slide your hands back a little bit, and slowly take your time with this. One thing about Restored is if you want to have time to reposition your props for each of the poses, and you want to spend, at least 2 minutes, or maybe count your breaths, at least 10 breaths in each pose, and you'll know. Listen to your body, to what it tells you about how long you want to stay in your poses. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this one up again. So this is in a double fold now. I'm going to bring it long ways. And then the one that I had my leg on, I'm going to fold it in half again. All right, and I'm going to bring it right here. I'm going to bring the open ends right here because the bump is here, the rounded part, and I'm going to kind of use that for elevation. So I'm showing you simple ways to come into these poses. I might have a pillow handy here. You could use pillows also, by the way. If you have your throw pillows, a stack of throw pillows will provide this as well, and also a bolster. A bolster is great for this one because of the length. So I'm just kind of showing you easy ways today to work with what you have at home. So we're going to do a side lying pose now. And what you want to do is bring the side of your rib cage down onto your blanket stack. And you can extend your arm long and lengthen your head here and just bring your hand to your side, kind of stack your arm on top of your rib cage right where it would naturally be if you were standing. If this feels too awkward and you want to have something else here, you could bring another pillow here. Lift yourself up a little bit. Another variation of this pose is to bring this arm up and over and extend your arms long and really open the side. So you decide what feels good because you want to be able to release in a restorative pose. You want to be able to just let go and not feel as if you're trying to do something. The idea of restorative is rest. Rest and digest. We're not being super active with the poses like we would in typical asana practice. So find what's comfortable, and really what you want to draw your attention to is the breath, of course, and also how it feels to be laying and supported on the side of your body here. And the benefit of this pose, besides the overall reset to our mind and our nervous system, is that we're supporting the function of our internal organs when we lay on our side, our digestive organs in particular. So this is a wellness pose in a variety of ways, benefiting our body and our mind and our overall wellness. So again, focus on the breath. Notice when you breathe in where you feel the support and the expansion. And as you exhale, notice where you begin to feel the body shift, adjust, and release. Again, seeking comfort in the body, ease in the mind. We are tending and befriending our body and our mind as we allow ourselves the opportunity to rest and reset. Okay, take maybe 3 more breaths here. Take the breath down as deeply as you can and then softly release it. Nice and long. 2 more breaths. Softly release. And 1 more breath. All right, and then we're going to prepare to shift. So just bring your hand down to the mat. Slowly make your way up. And we're going to kind of come into something that's sort of like a pigeon and its side and a twist. All right, so what we're going to do is just bring this bent leg right up here alongside your stack. And again, you could have a bolster here. You could have a couple of stacked blankets. I have my folded blanket here, one underneath, and then I'm going to use this pillow. So I'm going to just turn my chest. So you see my hips are still, and my knees are going sideways. But now I'm going to turn my chest toward the stack. So I'm feeling a twist in my rib cage and my lower back. I'm coming forward. Actually, my lower back is lengthening, and my twist is really in the middle part of my rib cage and my upper back. And I'm going to pull this pillow here so I can just rest my head. So coming into this, I'm adding a little compression into my inner groin area, hip flexors. And I'm inviting my torso to just lengthen over the supports, over the props. Feeling my back lengthen, feeling my shoulders soften, feeling some spaciousness in between my shoulder blades. And if this were to be a little uncomfortable for you in the leg area, another thing you could do is take a pillow and place it right here underneath the top leg and try that. And this could bring in a little more rest and reset into the hips. So you might want to try that. I really like it. Since I added it, I thought, oh yeah, I feel it right away. I feel my hips just sort of rest into the pose. And it supports the back. It lifts a little bit more. So really important here as you're in your resting pose to soften your jaw and your facial muscles. And we do that with the exhale. We let the exhale assist us in softening when we let go of the breath. I like to come into it with a sense of pause, breathing in and then softening with each exhale. So let's take 3 more breaths here. Remember, ideally, try to take at least 10 breaths in each of the poses. Not pressuring the breath, but in a non-judgmental, observing way. Just come into it, noticing the breath. All right, and then as you're ready, kind of slide your hands back. Slowly come on up. We're going to come into a supported Sphinx pose from here. So I'm really going to be able to just leave things just the way they are. So I'm going to shift now, and I'm going to roll onto the tops of my legs and bring my chest right onto the stack and use this pillow here to kind of support my head. And I'm just going to release the shoulders. And this is really nice. I have the support under most of my torso, but my pelvis is on the mat. Look, I can kind of rock my hips side to side. You might want to do that too, and just kind of release your lower back. Maybe spread your feet a little bit wider. And just allow yourself to rest here. Again, we're getting a lot of compression onto the vagus nerve in the center part of our body, which is another cue to the brain to relax. Try to soften your body with each exhale. Perhaps imagine that you are the breath. Let the breath come to you. Become the breath. Notice when you can feel a shift into a lightness of being. So notice how the belly just expands gently on the earth now with the support under your chest. Your belly kind of has space to move with the breath. So let's take maybe 3 more breaths here. Feel the softness releasing of your shoulders. Try to keep your eyes soft or closed. And take maybe 1 more breath. And we want to shift onto the other side for balance and equanimity. So I'm going to slide the hands back, and I'm slowly going to push my way on up and bring my hip under me. I'm just going to roll up here, and then I'm going to reposition my stack on the other side. Okay, so first thing we were going to do is come in back to the prone position so we can support the other leg. So you're going to bring your double folded blanket here and then open up this blanket to this rectangular fold. Place that down. And this is for your chest again. Come on down on prone onto your belly and then bring your blanket right underneath your bent leg. Just to the floor. Maybe relax your head onto the stack of your arms. I'm going to adjust just a little bit so that you can see me better here. Maybe hear me better too. And just, again, feel yourself release. Blanket helps to open the hip a little bit. And draw your focus back to your breath. Remember how we began practice. We centered our breath with 4 in, 4 counts in, 4 counts out. Notice how you are right now if you feel like you need to recenter, or whether you can just take a nice deep breath in and a long, slow exhale. And as you breathe, where do you sense the breath in your body?
And what is happening in your mind? Are you able to stay here in the present moment? There's a nice quote that says, even the briefest moment of silence gives us the opportunity to come into the present moment and move on. So perhaps explore coming into the present moment and just being one with your breath. All right, take a couple more breaths here, and then we're going to come into the side lying pose. So you're just going to kind of begin to bring yourself back up. Slowly come on up, rise on up. Maybe shift onto your hip. Fold your blanket up here, or take a pillow or two. Stack them. Oh, let me fold this blanket over. I folded this one over again. All right, and then I have the open ends here, and I have the rounded part here, and I'm just going to bring my side right onto it. And I like using an extra pillow for my arm to extend upon, and then it supports my head too. So extend over. This hand is going to just rest here on my top hip. And I'm just going to feel the support of the props right underneath my torso. And now my belly can really move freely here. Before it was kind of pressing down onto the earth, which brings a calming sensation, but now I'm enjoying the little bit of sense of liberation here. I can just breathe and let my belly expand naturally. And we draw our attention back to the breath, the flow of the breath. Curious about how it feels to breathe on the side of our body, supporting our internal organs, bringing in enhanced circulation, moving through the body and out of the body, stress hormones, and all that no longer serves us, and allowing space for our body to be nourished with what we need through our breath and our oxygen. Take a couple more breaths here. And then we're going to rise on up. Bring your hand to the mat. And this we're going to come into that twist where I'm going to bring the chest forward. So we're just going to bring that thigh up, right up next to the stack. Kind of frame your stack. And then I'm going to turn my chest and just lay down long. So I have a twist here. So this involves a twist in my torso, but I'm lengthening through my lower back. I'm feeling the twist in my midsection. And I mentioned last time, and I think it is something that feels good in my body too, is to bring a pillow and put it right here between your legs. Kind of supports, again, the back a little bit. Actually helps me to feel longer somehow. I can really lengthen through my back, let my shoulders soften and widen. I actually feel like my upper back is spreading a little bit and becoming a little more spacious. And I feel lengthening through my lower back. What's happening in your body? Where do you feel the breath flow? And where do you feel the breath kind of tuck in? Breathe into the tight spots. In yoga, we can bring the breath into the darkest corners of the body, just like a light, a warming, releasing light. Take a few more breaths here, and then we're going to transition. Okay, when you are ready, you can slide your hands up. And please know that if you find a particular pose you're really enjoying and you just don't want to come out of, you don't have to. You can do one or as many of these restorative poses as you have time for. Just one pose will benefit you. So you get to decide what you have time for and what feels really nice to you. Let's come into child's pose, the supported child's pose. We're going to come right on over to our shins. I'm going to pull the stack here right in between. I'm widening my knees. I'm going to bring it right here in front. And I'm going to open up my blankets. Again, I could be using a bolster here. Bolsters work really nice. I'm just going to double fold each of these blankets, stack it here. And then I think I'm going to use 2 more pillows too. All right, and then I'm just going to fold my torso right over the stack. So nice here, feeling energy lengthen all the way out through my tailbone. My torso feels fully supported. Just wrapping my hands around the stack, my shoulders are draping over. And I really feel myself creating length and space in my body. Feeling very supported with the props underneath my torso and my head. I could probably fall asleep here. And when you do this type of pose, you probably want to switch your head at some point. I won't today, just because we have a short class, but I would take maybe 5 breaths and then I would turn my head the other way. Just again to release your neck on both sides and feel more balanced. So please do that for yourself. And time went really quickly today. We are almost at the end of our class, so I want to bring you into one more resting pose on our back. Today we spent most of our time supporting the front of our body. But now I'm going to make my way up, and I'm going to do a little bit of a modification of a pose called Mountain Brook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a blanket and I'm going to roll it. So this is going to be underneath my neck. Again, it could be a pillow. And then I'm going to bring one of these back to the rectangular fold. I'm going to put this down right here. And I'm going to put a pillow right here on top of it just to give it a little bit more height, because I'm going to bring that into my upper back. And then I'm going to roll this blanket and put it under my knees. And I probably will put another pillow on top too, just so I can have a really cushy Mountain Brook. And if you had extra pillows, you could put them under your arms too as you're lying down and just feel really cradled. But this is really nice because it comes into all the curves, the upper and lower curves in our back, and really supports the natural curves in our body. So this is under my knees. I'm going to lay back. I want the pillow to be right under my upper back. So I just kind of adjust it and then bring my neck onto the roll of the blanket. And there I am. So shoulders are soft and relaxing towards the earth. The chest is lifted and open. Belly drops down with the pelvis. And my pillow and blanket are supporting my lower back. And then I have supports under my knees, really pretty much all of my whole legs. And I just feel like I'm just absolutely cradled here. very restful for me. And that's the thing about yoga. We can give advice. Sometimes you have to make adjustments for your body length, your body structure. The idea is, though, to come into a place of feeling very supported. And again, so that you don't feel like you are having to do, but that you can take time to just be in the poses. So I hope you will take time here to breathe into the openness of your chest. Exhale and allow the belly to soften and drop down. And give yourself the strength that you can find in resting. And the clarity that can be found from stepping away from all the busyness. And take time to nurture yourself. All right, you please stay in this pose as long as you possibly can. I'm going to roll to one side and bring myself up to seated and close our class today. Again, thank you for joining me. My name is Robin, and we had class together today on the Warriors at Ease Operation Remote Resilience channel. I hope you enjoyed this class. This video will continue to be online shortly. Please consider visiting the link below and making a donation to help us keep these classes going. And you will find other classes that you can, other recorded classes that you can choose from as well. Viewers like you make it possible for teachers like me to continue to offer these services. So I'd just like to say namaste in health, resilience, and connection. Thank you.